So if you've been anywhere near health discussions online lately, you've probably bumped into this 30-30-30 rule.
Oh, yeah,
It's really buzzing, comes up all the time.
definitely.
Our mission here, really, is to take this pile of sources you've all shared and just cut through the confusion and clarify what this 30-30-30 thing actually is. Because, well, as we found out pretty quickly, it seems like this one phrase, it actually covers at least two really different health ideas.
Yeah,
Causes a lot of mix-ups.
it really does. That's maybe the most surprising thing right off the bat.
Right.
The same name, 30-30-30 rule, but it's describing two completely separate strategies for health, maybe weight loss.
Okay, so what are those two? Let's lay them out.
Okay, so first, you've got one interpretation that's all about macronutrients, like a ratio. Think 30% protein, 30% healthy fats, and 30% carbs in your daily diet. That's one rule.
Right, the macro split. Got it.
Yeah.
And the other...
And then the other one, totally different, is this specific morning routine. That's the one where you eat 30 grams of protein within 30 minutes of waking up.
Right.
And then you follow that with 30 minutes of like low intensity exercise.
Ah, okay. Yeah, I think I've heard more buzz about that one recently.
Quite possibly, yeah. We'll definitely get into both.
Just knowing that distinction up front is
Yeah.
honestly super helpful, cuts through a lot. I'm really keen to dig into the details of each one.
Yeah.
Because, understanding what's actually being talked about, that helps you, the listener, figure out what might or might not work.
Absolutely.
So given that, let's start with that first one you mentioned, the macronutrient split. What's the thinking behind that version of 30-30-30? What does it mean on the plate?
Right. So this one is basically a dietary guideline, aiming for overall weight management, general health, really, through balancing your macros.
Okay.
It suggests, like I said, roughly 30% of your daily calories from lean protein. Chicken, fish, beans, lentils.
The usual suspects.
Exactly. Then another 30% from healthy fats, think avocados, nuts, seeds, olive oil. And the final 30% from complex carbs. So whole grains, fruits, veggies, not the refined stuff.
Right.
And the idea behind this specific split physiologically is pretty solid, actually. Getting enough protein helps with satiety.
Feeling full.
Right, feeling fuller longer, which can help manage overall calorie intake. Plus, it supports muscle.
Yeah.
Healthy fats are vital, hormones, absorbing certain vitamins.
Yeah, the fat-soluble one.
Exactly. And those complex carbs, they give you sustained energy. Fiber helps avoid those big blood sugar spikes and crashes you get from, say, white bread or sugary drinks.
So it's aiming for a kind of metabolic stability, it sounds like, through that specific balance.
Pretty much, yeah. A balanced approach to fuel the body effectively.
Okay, but you hinted earlier, this macro interpretation is maybe not universally agreed upon as the perfect split. Did the sources mention any criticisms or other ways to think about it? Or maybe where this 30-30-30 idea even came from?
That's a really good point. So while this 30-30-30 split is, a decent general guideline, it lines up pretty well with a lot of mainstream advice for balanced eating. The sources do point out it's more of a framework.
Not a strict rule for everyone.
Exactly. It's not one size fits all. Historically, nutritional advice has always kind of emphasized balance, and this 30-30-30 probably emerged as just a catchy, easy to remember target.
Makes sense. Easy numbers.
Right. But the critiques, or maybe just considerations, often emphasize that, individual needs really vary a lot.
Like athletes, maybe?
Yeah, for instance, someone who's super active might need more carbs for energy, for performance, or someone with specific weight loss goals might adjust protein up a bit.
Right.
And importantly, the sources almost always talk about this diet approach alongside exercise, both cardio and strength training, and hydration.
So it's part of a bigger picture.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Diet's rarely the whole story on its own.
Makes total sense. Okay, so that's the macro split, a framework for balance. But it is fascinating how this completely different thing, this morning routine, grabbed the same game.
Isn't it?
Let's switch gears then. That morning routine, especially with people like Gary Brecka, Tim Ferriss talking about it, it seems to have a lot of momentum.
It really does.
What's the exact protocol there? Can you break that one down for us?
Sure. This one's actually quite simple in terms of what to do. It's 3 steps.
Okay.
1, eat 30 grams of protein. 2, do it within 30 minutes of waking up.
Right after you get up, basically.
Pretty much, yeah. And 3, immediately follow that protein with 30 minutes of low-intensity, steady-state exercise, like walking.
30-30-30. protein time exercise.
Exactly. And the goal, according to the people promoting it, is to kind of kickstart your metabolism for the day, help balance blood sugar, and get your body burning fat more effectively.
Okay, that combination. 30 grams of protein right away, then moving gently. What's the supposed science behind that specific timing and combination? Did the sources explain the why?
Yeah, they did touch on the physiological thinking, especially why it might be good for folks, say, over 40. The idea is, after fasting overnight, your glycogen stores, your readily available sugar energy, are lower.
Makes sense.
So, hitting your system with 30 grams of protein, first thing does a couple of things. It helps stabilize blood sugar, preventing a big insulin spike.
Which can lead to fat storage, right?
That's the theory, yeah. If you flood your system with carbs first thing, you get that spike, and your body might be more inclined to store the excess as fat. Protein first signals use this for muscle support, feel full, rather than store this glucose.
Okay.
Then, pairing it almost immediately with that low-intensity movement, like a walk, encourages your body to tack into fat stores for fuel because it's not getting a quick hit of glucose energy.
So it shifts the fuel source, kinda.
That's the proposed mechanism. Tim Ferriss, for example, really pushes that high-protein breakfast idea mainly for regulating blood sugar and killing cravings later in the day, preventing that cycle that can lead to weight gain.
Interesting. Were there any downsides mentioned? Or, like, situations where this wouldn't be a good idea? Or maybe who it works best for?
The sources didn't really highlight major downsides, honestly. It's generally presented as quite gentle. The main thing seems to be consistency. You have to actually do it regularly.
Right, it's a habit.
Exactly. It's not framed as some extreme diet, more sustainable habit, but they do strongly suggest it's particularly beneficial for women, especially over 40.
Okay, we should definitely touch on why that demographic specifically. But first, it just sounds, well, simple, compared to counting macros all day, maybe.
Absolutely. I think that's a huge part of its appeal.
Yeah.
Definitely. There's no complicated math, no calorie counting, really, no brutal workouts required. It's just protein, walk, clear steps, easy to start.
And what about results? Are people actually, seeing changes from this morning routine? What did the sources say users reported?
Yeah, the reports seem quite positive. People mentioned things like losing belly fat, having more consistent energy through the day,
Oh, interesting.
feeling less hungry, generally feeling like their metabolism is working better. It's often described as, not magic, but just a really solid foundation for healthier habits long term.
Any specific examples?
Yeah, the sources had a couple pretty compelling ones, like a woman named Sarah, 48, from Texas. She reportedly lost 15 pounds in about 2 months just by doing this consistently, the 30-gram protein, the morning walk.
Wow, just from that change.
Apparently so, according to the source. And another one, Linda from the UK, 52, she mentioned losing 10 pounds in 6 weeks using this routine. And the feedback often highlights just how simple and doable it feels, less overwhelming than some big diet overhaul.
That makes a lot of sense. 15 pounds, 10 pounds.
Yeah.
Those are noticeable results. Now, you mentioned it being particularly good for women over 40. Why is that? What's special about that group?
Right. So for women, especially as they hit their 40s and beyond, hormonal changes can definitely make weight management trickier. Muscle mass also tends to decline naturally with age.
Sarcopenia, yeah.
Exactly. So getting enough protein becomes even more important then. It helps preserve that muscle mass, which in turn helps keep your metabolism from slowing down too much.
Okay.
And protein is great for balancing blood sugar, like we mentioned, which helps manage cravings and those energy slumps that can be more common.
Ah.
Plus, there's a thermic effect of food. Protein actually takes a bit more energy for your body to digest compared to fats or carbs. So a slight metabolic boost there too.
And the exercise part for this group, still low intensity.
Yeah, definitely. The focus is consistency, not killing yourself. That low intensity, steady state movement walking, maybe gentle cycling, light yoga for those 30 minutes. It complements the metabolic effect of the protein without being overly taxing.
This has been super clarifying, really. So
Yeah.
the takeaway is if someone throws around 30-30-30 rule,
Yeah.
you really need to ask, wait, which one are you talking about?
Precisely. That's honestly the number one thing we pulled from digging into this. 2 very different rules sharing one catchy name.
Okay, let's recap them quickly then.
Sure. So rule number 1, the macronutrient version. That's about aiming for a balanced plate, roughly 30% lean protein, 30% healthy fats, 30% complex carbs.
Right, focused on overall diet quality, energy, muscle support, usually paired with exercise and water.
Exactly. Aiming for general health and well-being through balanced intake.
And then rule number 2, the morning routine.
That's the specific sequence. 30 grams of protein within 30 minutes of waking.
Followed immediately by
0.30 minutes of low-intensity exercise.
Okay, and the goal there is more about kickstarting metabolism, blood sugar balance, fat burning.
Yeah, reducing cravings, boosting energy. And proponents often highlight it, particularly for people over 40. We saw those examples, Sarah losing 15 pounds, Linda losing 10. People seem to love how simple it is.
Right. The simplicity factor again?
But, and this is crucial for both versions of the rule.
Let me guess. Talk to a professional.
You got it.
Yeah.
The sources consistently stress this point. No matter which rule seems interesting, always talk to your doctor or maybe a registered dietitian, because what works for Sarah or Linda or what sounds good in theory might not be right for you. Your individual health, your needs, any conditions you have. That all matters. Personalization is key.
Absolutely. Essential advice. It really underscores the need to be, critical consumers of health info. Which leads to a final thought for you, our listener. Given that we've just seen how 2 totally different health strategies can hide behind the same popular name, how can we, as learners trying to figure things out, make sure we're always digging into the specifics behind the buzzwords? And maybe, where do you go next to get that truly personalized advice for your own unique health journey? Something to think about.